Hello, RedRed jars. Sorry I haven't had and noticed your comments thing. Not comments. Dang it. Jesus Christ, I'm all over the place. I've forgotten how to YouTube, basically. So if you're new here, this is a new live stream series I'm starting called Watch RedRed Suffer as she reads fanfiction. But which type? Country humans. Because that's my main thing on this channel. And so while my mom is away, the cat comes out and plays. Or the rat. I forgot. Jesus Christ, I forgot the YouTube. And so there was malfunction. There was kind of technical difficulties, but now we're streaming. So yeah. So far, what we left off at chapter 9 out of 47. The things we usually read for 4 chapters, or 3 depending on how tired I am, because I get tired easily. Because I suck. But we are gonna grow with the story. If we can make it somehow to 47 before the author starts, before the author updates, then well, good. I won't be able to stream tomorrow because I'm going to my sister's shop. She works at a group home type of thing. That's fine. You can rewatch this. You can rewatch the stream. Jesus Christ. You can reread the stream. Yeah. So we have 4 people, and it's okay with me. It's 79. I'll probably have to charge my phone soon, but who cares? So let's get on to chapter 10. Oh, god damn it. I know that I can handle this because I was previously reading some fanfiction. And I didn't seem to get tired yet. But the difference between those fanfictions and these fanfictions is that was a one-shot book, and this is a whole fledged series. Okay, fair. Well, this isn't really traumatizing. This is just a state humans, country humans fanfiction about America states and the country staying at his house, like every cliche, state humans thing ever. Now let's start the thing because we're in 4 minutes in. Oh fuck. America's Pav. It was a bit past lunchtime by the time New York and New Jersey were done cooking. They made a variety of meals, some eating pasta, some being pizza, and others entirely different. It was all lunch food, though. I took my seat at the head of the table, after walking downstairs as usual, lower to my left, and the previously empty seat to my right, hosting Soviet. She looked surprised when even the communist clan started eating, all happily. Taking a slice of pizza, savoring the perfect flavor and reaching for a second slice, I was abruptly stopped by the Chinese who mouthed, "You're already fat enough." Shut up, China. Scowling, I took the plates to the kitchen, flexed my wrist. Going upstairs, I did what I usually did, to no one's fair. Not one person knew, even my states. It's mostly the countries, especially China, Afghanistan, Iran, and Cuba's insult. They claimed me things like fat ass, whore. Oh, Jesus, I hope I don't get demonetized. YouTube don't demonetize me. I'm a small YouTube channel, okay? Despicable. Trash. Worthless. Garbage. Honey, I'm trash. How sometimes thought I should just die at this point. Jesus Christ. Crying slightly, I locked my bathroom door and opened my toilet seat, shaking my gag reflex expertly with my fingers. I perked my stomach. Afterwards, I quickly cleaned my teeth and hands, flushing beforehand. Leaving my room with the usual fake smile on my face, I returned to the archery room. Work would come later. No from South Dakota joined me, both taking the usual 4-star bows. The bows me and my family used all had lemels, only 1-star and 2-star being from Native American times. My bow was even made by my mother, an unranked bow. I call it Her Justice. And many a daemon had fallen victim to my aim. My children chose some random arrows, hitting the target perfectly. The kills were both 14, yet had only recently unlocked their magical abilities. This is RPG. I launched another one of my silver arrows, letting my anger flow instead of through calm magic. This time I embed the arrow with seeds of neutral magic. It would go through the target. It would go through the target as expected, or would it? Instead, the shining arrow seemed to have broken in two before the target started melting. With a snap, it was as before. A smile creased my cheek, a few warm tears running down the same. I remembered hunting with my mother and siblings. Now none of them left, as far as I knew. I missed them all, though. Pharisee, Finland, Dakota, Roanoke, all of them. Each and every single one. The Dakotas knew that I was smiling, that it was a welcome memory. Taking off my glasses, I wiped the tears, returning to piercing the target until I myself was calm. But it hurt something like this to my family. The silver, the magic, it was all calming. Retaining my bow with a newfound smile, I walked out of the bow closet. Maine ran in, breathing heavily, and American glanced at her worriedly. "What's wrong, dear?" A hand was placed gently on her cheek, my eye glowing a cool red as it did when I used magic. There was still familiar black. Did you say herpes? Oh, Jesus. A lot of harpies. We told the nations that there was some sort of pipe explosion to stay outside. They aren't buying it. Mabel was breathing heavily and passed out into the waiting arms of her siblings. America ran back to the bow, taking the delicate fox-pelt quiver, dropping the 6 or 7 arrows delicately before dropping it onto his back with a pained expression. Walking off the bow, he tried to be confident. He started rubbing the black eye. Let them see, like they care. They'll find it out anyways, with how nosy they are. The North Dakota nodded. The twins walking back to the building saw the state's note with a passed-out Maine. Hooking the glasses on his shirt, Merrick left the room, and after the building. Outside were around 20 harpies, a small humanoid birds throwing bolts of lightning, sharing the previously lush grass, small demons, usually forewarning a larger storm demon. His eye changed to glow a cool green, similar in shape to grass. That was all of his arrows, hitting the harpies just on target. Perched in the tree, he ran out, position now revealed. The arrows flew cleanly out of the small demons, no blood or flesh cutting the delicately crafted weaponry. At a few countries I walked out, shocked because of the array of magical creatures in American strange eyes. Not noticing them, he slung the bow onto the back, returning the arrows to the quiver. Should I? He'll need for the next attacker. Fine. He sighed, the voice in his head coming to a consensus already. Pale horns curved out the back of his head, glowing the same color as his eyes. What is going on? One side of his face became a wash of light as the eye grew more brightly. Fresh little white wings stretched out behind him, and aura glowed gold behind him. What is happening? By now the attention of all the countries was on him, all gawking in shock. This time he noticed them, and his heart dropped. They now know, see? Doesn't matter, all that matters is the safety of the states. I guess. America struck down the harpies using pillars of pure white flame, the embers of the color of his eye, now a pale watery red. This isn't as strong as you could be. Give in. That form is too strong. Too controlled. You remember the last time. Besides, right now is unnecessary. Fucker. Indeed, I am the one that fucks your ass and Nebraska's mind. Shut. Fine. An ear-splitting roar sounded, leaving his ears ringing slightly. The clouds covered the sun overhead, a downpour starting, lightning and thunder alongside it. The boy, man now, the American recognized ran from the storm demon. It had one black eye, the electric blue. Its body was ashen, dark, veiny, glinting with male. I speak English, I promise. Its gaze shifted to America for half the seconds. Storm demons like to kill the vulnerable first. Mark twisted sentence to a man for a second, his eyes widening recognition. The rain reflected off his aura, but tears started streaking down his cheeks. Brother? He cried out, racing in front of the man. Everyone heard his voice as it echoed out over the rain, shocking and freezing, immensely on the gates of his family. Dion knew he wasn't blood family, but what other family had the American had? It was as if he could hear their thoughts, but he couldn't in his form. He raised his wrist to the demon, flicking it quickly. The demon shot back. It tore into dragging lines of water onto the ground. Confederacy looked at him shocked. But before they could talk to the demon, before they could talk, but before they could talk, the demon needed to die. Growling as the demon lifted itself up, he spoke. No, you don't! Fine storm and severity of vibrant flowers pinned the demon down, and he walked towards it. The steps of the sentient demon, seemingly terrifying yet, one more step, and a horrific crunch sounded. He crushed the soul of the demon beneath his foot. Holding out one hand and with the other, an urn appeared. Sending a wind, the body dissolved into ash, which quickly was sucked into the sun. Urn. What was I saying? This appeared a moment after, preventing the demon from resurrecting. Running over to Pharisee, he wrapped his arms around his brother, sobbing as the rain stopped and his normal form returned. Dollar ran out, taking away his quiver and bow before running away as America stopped into Pharisee's shoulder. Suddenly the black that was his right eye disappeared. America was astonished before he remembered the healing abilities of his Pharisee. However, his brother couldn't resurrect. But the hand that shakily caressed his cheek was definitely real. I thought you were dead. America sobbed, clutching his brother. He started walking over, looking ticked off, but he didn't bother Butters. Pharisee smiled. I'd never die if I was killed. I'd come back someday. You killed me so I wouldn't go crazy. Now I'm back. He drew a shaky breath. I missed you. I missed you too. America said, lifting his brother up with one arm. Dare stumbled a bit, laughing nervously as he saw his family, their countries, and their organizations. Explain. America, explain! Explain why you name Arkansas! America nodded finally. This is my blood brother, Confederacy. Confederacy? This is European Union, or EU. America breathed deeply, composing himself. The sharp gaze of his compatriots borne to them, but none mattered. His brother was back, and that's what he did. You glared at him. What about those weird forms you took? What about those creatures? What those creatures were? Why you killed them? Eric said again. Let's go inside. There's a lot. And hello, Risa Owo. Welcome to the stream, the nightly stream that we stream every some nights. Let me just look at my site again. Don't want to bleed all over the place. The American took a deep, shaky breath. He was on one of the many God damn it, English. Crafted recliners in the first living room of the main building of the estate. New York was hugging the Confederacy, who was normal again, and crying. Texas doing the same. Pennsylvania and New York were trying to calm the two, their uncle looking overwhelmed. On April 12th, oh, Jesus Christ. Please. On April 12th, 1861, the first shots of the Civil War were fired. Have a notice to you all. That's not all that happened. My brother went crazy, only managing to hold back the anger of the Southern American citizens long enough for us to run away from him. Flora tripped and I helped her up. Confederacy was holding a kitchen knife, and it was about to hit her, and said, it's time to hit my right eye for a while. It was black instead of this. For a while, it was black instead of this. Ola. I'm playing Animal Crossing. Eric wanted to stop, hating the look of the eyes that were changing color. Currently a soft rosy pink. He managed to take his body back again, and I killed him. And then and there, the outcome was definite. I wasn't doing it out of spite, he asked. 60 would never hurt anyone intentionally. His magical abilities are even healing related. He's my younger brother. Pausing for a moment to cry into himself a little, America rubbed the tears away. My blood mother was named America. Not as young as you'd think. Actually around 5,000 or so. Oh my god. Wow. Cool. Don't know what's going on, but cool. It's like the story, how it, not, if the, whoever made that ever sees this probably won't. But it's like all America head cannons. Like it's like America one shot book. I once saw different fandom, same idea. It's like oh America's like 5,000 years like millions of years old. Like oh it's like America has like wings and like America like has like magical abilities. Like it has like a black eyes and like stuff because he has no culture and that stuff. And truth be told, America is a mixing bowl of some sort. You mix all the ingredients. You have the milk, you have the flour, you have the eggs. Then you add some other stuff like the vanilla and stuff. I don't know how to make a cake, so shut up, cooking experts. It's like and then you mix something. You mix it all together. You bake it for like an hour or two. And it comes out kind of a bit undercooked, kind of a bit overcooked, but like it's still edible. It still tastes good. It still looks good. Jesus. But like, it still looks good, right? Sure, it may be a little bit messy on the inside, but it still tastes good, and that's what matters. America's culture is guns. McDonald's sometimes, but though we hate it. And just being sarcastic, joking people for memes. That's America's culture. So that's why I don't agree with the black eyed thing. Cause like, oh Jesus Christ, same. So like America's mixing pot, as I said before. I mean, I said mixing bowl, but shut up. So America does have a culture, but it's kind of hard to find. Get what I'm saying? Good. Let's get back to the story. Breath catching in his throat, he breathes quickly, taking deep breaths to try to regain himself. Now it's not time to have a panic attack. Panic at the disco. Native America was normal. She had many children. All but three lived with the tribes they represented. Those three were my sisters, Finland and Roanoke, and my brother Dakota. Beyond this, she was gifted with magic. Mine represented my magic. Passive magic, usually magic that doesn't do damage, but the magic charge that remains to slay. For I symbolize that. It also means healing magic. Using magic recreationally usually changes the eyes red too. I have control over the elements, multiple forms, and I know all Native American languages in American soil. I also can teleport things, multiple forms, and I can talk to animals. None of my siblings were gifted with my mother's magic as I. She died 100 years or so. She died 100 or so years before colonization began to occur. My siblings died inexplicably, even though some still identified with their tribes. Percy appeared around the same time as my babies. We all have magic, and you do as well, though almost definitely weaker. America finished shakily walking over to this Confederacy. Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Britain, and France followed him. Japan's Pav. I was shocked into silence by America's statement. My ears shook behind me, and my eyes darkened. Did that mean that my mom hurt a child during the Second World War? It did, didn't it? More than anything, now I want to apologize. Although my mother was one that hurt Hawaii, I still wanted to. The little girl was probably traumatized. Someone tapped my shoulder, and I saw the 7 or so Pacific Islander states, followed by a 10 or so state that looked angry. Are you Japan? The girl asked, her bird looming over her protectively. Yes. She flinched away. And my ears shooped more. I'm sorry for what my mother did. I'll never be able to make up for I was cut off by her hugging my arms around me, rubbing my ears gently. It's not your fault. I just want to make friends now. She retracted her dainty limbs. Huh. Someone's there. Her brother not smiling now. I'm Hawaii, which I think you know. This is my big brother, Alaska. The aforementioned state smiled. Nice to meet you two. Confederacy's Pav. I smiled at even its description never passed. It seemed more upbeat than it was. Not saying a lot because some of the agents still looked horrified. Let's say it's crying to me. They're my nieces and nephews, and I love them dearly. I'm surprised you were dumb enough to piss off a demon. My brother's tone was joking, and again I smiled. You know me, always messing with the supernatural. He sat beside me. Have you been, Dixie? Have you been holding up, Dixie? I've been trying to find you. How are you, Union? Both of us smiled. He was somewhat forceful, but by Pennsylvania his awestruck expression, I understood that his smile was better than usual. Thriving somehow, said dryly, laughing slightly. The light and silky laugh, remember. Anyway, so you're trying to find me in the woods instead of approaching the city. His tone became serious and angry, and again I understood. Sighing, my happiness fell from my face. The tenor caused the disease. America froze, and I hit his shoulder gently, snapping him out of it. The 10? The 10? His voice was shaken, as was my own. Yeah, the tenor back. He started crying a little, the same that made him fade so early. He rolled up, hugging me, whispered in my ear. I thought I killed them. Earned every speck of the Malgash, too. How'd they resurrect? I shrunk, then inside. Confederacy. Putter. Let's ignore ourselves while we can. 5 other countries approached us. I recognized the recognized Union Jack, the only familiar flag in the bunch. Cedric spoke to me in America just after. Good to see your blood flame is black. His voice was critical, as I remembered, and I similarly hated it, just as it did then. Who are you? I asked, and irritated skull on my face. I'm the United Kingdom, also known as UK or Britain, America's adopted father. The final 2 words made me pissed. I did my own whispering hug with Union, except not letting go. Did you want to be adopted? He tapped my wrist with his ear twice, nervously. That was a no. I held the hug for a minute before getting up, brushing off my leg. Yorkie texted Penny and went to go find their siblings or something. I wasn't concerned. Why would I be? They could handle themselves. Well, his blood family's back. Based on the fact you didn't know my niece and nephews for this, I assumed you were pretty disconnected. My sweet southern accent pointed to my words, that of which only happened when I was really pissed. Keep your cool, Confred. Britton scowled, and the girl looked at me silently. Just LSF, French Sign Language, off to the side. Anything that made me avoid America. I love him as my own son, just like the others. That pushed me over the edge. Bless your heart, T-Man, you're a liar? What did I expect? Just off the tea drinking Todd. He stomped off of his huff, and I smiled. Sign language was one of the best things, just like communicating with those who couldn't otherwise. That was the purpose. I'm proficient in more informed sense of sign language than actual languages. Instead of having a scary sound to their main for, I smiled. Why don't we just ignore the pissy Brit and talk civilly? Introduce yourselves. I don't have to bite, unless I have to. The one with a leaf on his flag allowed the reserved sigh. Smiling, the same woman whose sign spoke happily in a French accent. Salute, I am France, America's adoptive mother, but a Conrad. Britain has never been kind. And there one of them walked up, the leaf flag one. I thought she was a bit much, but I'm a bit shorter. And a raccoon tail hat topped his head. I'm Canada, America's adoptive brother. Luckily, Britain didn't restrict my travel to him, though I never knew about his children. We were undoubtedly closer than he was with my siblings. The mention, too, sign looking somewhat sad. I smiled at them, using a certain charm of mine. That's fine. It wasn't your fault. Pointing up to the tone of the two, who seemed more social, he spoke. Why don't you introduce yourself next? He reciprocated my smile. I'm so sorry, Aussies. Nice to meet you, mate. I'm Australia, but you can call me Aussie. I'm one of America's adopted siblings. Oh, God, I suck at accents. The fine one spoke, rather short and young. Nervousness was evident in his tone. Nice to meet you, Mr. Confederacy. I'm New Zealand. I'm the youngest of America's adoptive siblings. I hugged them, cooing slightly. The kid was nice. I couldn't not. I cannot not. I could not not. America walked over to me, hugging me himself. You should give yourself a proper introduction. Letting out a slight huff, I spoke. His introduction was enough. But I guess it was better to give my own. I'm Confederacy, or Dixie. I'm America's much younger brother, by blood. Hope to become good friends with all y'all. He smiled childly beside me. I have to go back to work. He walked upstairs slightly. Franz looked at me with a bit of worry. Do you know why I mad at you spoke so much? Well, bad. I don't care about your fucking ass. I just don't have enough money for it. Why did I do that? Scoffing a bit, I sighed. The reason was the same as it's always been. Know how the economics of countries here are separate from more world countries? Well, America knows how the human workers here were all overworked, and he took it upon himself to help that. Works fast, but must be stressful. Walking towards the kitchen, I automatically knew how to use the technology. Not all advanced, but the America sector especially. It always had been, ever since I first died. Mixed the coffee just how you liked it. A tablespoon of Turkish coffee, exactly 4 ounces of freshly ground braised coffee beans, specifically imported from Brazil, dipped in whiskey 100 or so years ago. A little bit of orange zest, a bit of homemade hot cocoa powder. Hey, got Ian's favorite melody. I started the machine. I took out the cream, 2 sugar cubes, and crushed some cinnamon. When I finished brewing, I poured it into the cup, letting it cool for exactly 13 seconds. Rhythmically, I measured 3 milliliters of cream into the coffee. I had 1 sugar cube stirring for 30 seconds. I added the second, stirring in the most, the cinnamon powder. A touch of powder went on the top, and I designed it into a scene of an old house. Big brother showed me once. Smiling, I took the coffee up to Union. Just as I liked it. At the same time, I took it up to him before. Now I can take a break! Yeah. America's Pav. Confederacy came into my room, gently sending the coffee onto my desk. The ring was still there from the times before the Civil War. I smiled, hugging my brother. I'm so glad you're back. It was a struggle not to cry. And it's a struggle not to crack my voice. Me too. Somehow my brother even smiled just as I remembered. Honey, lavender, and fresh cotton. Oh. Ow. Yikes. It was comforting, getting lost in memories. Well, I'll leave you to your work. His voice was somewhat sad as he walked away. Must first leave something you've missed for so long, something you've only just got back. Still myself returned to my work, when taking a break to take a sip of the perfect coffee. Telling Grandma Max text again to Southern States to make some barbecue. Dixie's favorite. I even told him how to make a batch of the old Repsy. The new one was slightly sweeter, but both used chicken ruin Hunter Farm. Everything good to be just as remembered. America didn't notice Russia sneaking into my room. Sitting down, and watching we work completely sober. It's not me who works. It's we. Communism. 3 minutes later, drinking less of my coffee, I got up and put the mug in the dishes and used the restroom. Instead of empty floor, I was being based during Russian. Why are you watching me? And why'd you go in my room without my permission? To a sensitive best. He smiled, getting up and lifting my chin. He looked good from down there. Horny Russian. Russia's voice was seductive, and he closed the door with his foot. Let's just stay. I defended my innocence by strategically resisting to my brother. It was his sudden charm that little made but Russia's sanity. Russia, you better control to leave that sentence right there. Oh, thank God I didn't have to read the lemon. I would have gotten demonetized. Wait, I don't get paid. Oh. Prepare to just follow you. No. Oh, yeah, what's that? His blue shirt. Ugh! What chapter are we on? Oh, Jesus Christ. We started at chapter... Jesus Christ. We started at we left off at chapter 9. We've gone through 2 chapters so far. So we have one more chapter. Maybe 2 more chapters. Yeah. Oh, shit. So, y'all, might I skip a chapter of specifically chapter 21? Kaveri sees Pav. Of course, we'll start with his Pav. I witnessed my brother running away from who I believe was Russia. He hid behind me, whispering shit about how Russia wants to take his innocence. So I got my shotgun and handed him my rape pistol. We were in the second floor living room. Into the time. Russia entered the room with a creepy smile, but his normally white eyes looked different. Gray. He was possessed by some sort of male violent demon. Reviewing the options, it was likely one that fed off emotions. It was showing his shoe flings for my brother, but in a way that the possessed would not enjoy. Intercepting the possessed Russia's path, I to my gun. I'm the gun. Stop possessing that body, demon. I can shoot ya. It shall kill you, but not the host. Union instantly understood, flicking his wrist. My shotgun was imbued with a specific kind of neutral magic, one which had rid a possessing demon from its host. The magic of consent. Again, Freak, get your hands away from me. Sorry I had to. Host should consent to being possessed. Otherwise, they broke some magical laws. So, if that demon in my closet wants to possess me, I have to have consent. I don't possess Malfred. A loud tisk sounded in the shadow-like form exited the Russian's body. How big gun are you to say who I can and can't possess? Merrick growled. I'm sure you know as well as Dixie, and I do, that can get your body used for its mana, and even its essence. It froze. Do you farm eyes for their magical energy? I laughed, slapping the demon. Fuck no! He would know here almost had that happen to him before those damn goners came. Sure we can, but we've only done it once with a murderous demon. Tried to kill one of my nieces. It was just after a unit got drained a bit. The demon paled slightly. Sorry, sirs. Rush's body crumpled to the floor, likely tired. Do you know who we are, by the way? What's your rank? Mercury asked with a smile. Demons had ranks, the highest being the 10, and the unknown deity. The demon paused for a moment, looking us over and pulling further. Your children to 10? I shook my head, sighing. No, we're something a whole lot stronger. Unknown deity? It shivered, glancing at Union. I've lost time, but we aren't ranked. I've been for a while. I haven't at all. Union over Europe is pretty old, but I've been around for only a few centuries. Used to be ranked, but some caused some chaos before disappearing. I explained chuckling a little at my brother's age. He punched me playfully. Are you house leaders? I laughed excitedly. Its form shimmering to reveal something similar to a 20 or so human girl. Brother shook his head. No, but we practically are. Demon nodded. I'm a servant of the House of Loosefire. You may know that we have the ability to become parts of other houses or help with contracts. I'm only ranked a 7-star. I do minor possessions for the house to document demons that aren't part of the house like you. I smiled. Confederacy DC, that's my old brother, United States of America, DC. She got the red. You're also countries? Oh, and my name is Sapphire. Merrick nodded, but I shook my head. All the independence movement of the southern states during the Civil War. Now just mostly represent the far south United States. Interesting. Interesting. And if you wish, I could ask a house head to help you make your own house. Sapphire added with a smile, glancing at Russia. Are you gonna move the body? He nodded. Don't want to piss off Soviet today. He snapped his fingers, helping Russia like to Russia's room. But making a house. He chuckled, nervously, pausing for a second. I could take the increased work. Knowing Sapphire smiled. I'll return with one of the higher-ups in around 4 days. She spared in a flash of light. Today's been exhausting, right, Union? Asked with a short laugh. Merrick smiled, laughing a little himself. Very right, Dixie. Very right. America's Bob. Jesus Christ. Like one more chapter. Oh my fucking god, I need to. Let me just charge my phone. Okay, charged. I walked to my room, turning on my laptop again. I have to start working fast to be able to concentrate for more work. Skipping lunch and starting to work later would work. Spending time with my babies is still just as important. So saying that almost all using magic would make it more tiring. I could finish more quickly. Using a sliver of my energy, I made my hands feel lighter using some magic. My legs felt like dead weight as I readjusted my abilities by changing gravity in the air. Gravity was an element, but it had to be an equal exchange. It's neutral magic. It's for dinner I managed to finish my today's work. Tonight I will get ahead without magic, working until around 3 in the morning. Wyoming walked into my room, rapping on the door shortly beforehand. Dad, time for dinner. Of course, dear. Jesus Christ. I spent on turning off my laptop, closing the new door behind me. My limbs felt as if they were about to fall off, but there was still a lot of work to do. The seeing was the same as years ago. Closed my left, took fast to my right. Finally, I took my old Ripsy barbecue. Krusty gave me his bright grin. Which is who are? Before taking a bite of some ribs. This felt right. But the happiness. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna check something out. Sim's gonna end the stream here. It's very unusual for me to end the stream in the middle of a story, but right now I take my brother's home, and you know him being nosy. So, night, y'all. I'm probably gonna still be active on Wattpad, so my Wattpad is RedRed Draws 3. Not all capital, all lowercase. Okay, night.